Just the vibe of this game, the energy or lack thereof. Describe it for me.
First game I've watched in the playoffs down in that bubble that felt like a summer league game. I mean, there was no tension. There was no vibe, no environment. And look, the Lakers came out and they took care of business early, and that's why you get to that point. But for me, this was the first one I watched that it just did not feel like you were watching an NBA playoff game. And I can say the league has done an incredible job start to finish because they have given us that when you watch these games. And we've seen some really compelling things happen. But, man, this one was flat. And then the Houston Rockets, once they fell behind, they really wanted no part of it. And I said it the last game. It felt like to me in the last game, in the third quarter, it felt like the bubble effect. Like we're playing a better team. We're not beating this team. We've been down here for 2.5 months. It's time to go home.
And human nature is a real thing. I can't fault them at all if part of that creeps in once you fall behind by a number that feels like you're not going to come back, particularly the way they shot it and the way they guarded. Let's talk about the defensive end first. What stood out, Tim?
Well, this was a situation, I think, where Houston, you're down 3-1. You got to come out with a state of readiness. You've got to be everybody, all hands on deck. And you got to make the right reads, I think, on the offensive end of the floor. And I thought early in the game, they made some mistakes when they had opportunities to attack. Here's one example. I mean, James Harden has to attack this top foot and get into the middle and break them down. He elects not to. And then Russell Westbrook, you got to make this drop-off pass to Jeff Green. It just has to be made. And when you don't, bad things are going to happen going the other way, and you'll take a look right here. So the Lakers spread them out really well. And now James Harden, you know, that closeout contained the basketball right there. You've got a chance to defend this possession, but instead he allows Danny Green to get middle, and now you're just playing catch around the horn. Russell Westbrook late getting back into the play. They make it. But when they did operate the right way, Scott, and this is a perfect possession here. You get doubled, get to the middle, opposite corner, clockwork. But this is what I'm talking about, state of readiness. This just cannot happen after you make a three. You've got 5 guys back. 3 are jogging. 2 guys are talking about who's got ball, and you give up a dunk off of one pass 3 seconds after you hit a three. That play right there, that sequence, to me, that typified what I saw the last 2 games. I think the Houston Rockets ran into a team that they just knew were better than them, and it was going to take something exceptional in terms of effort, and they were not able to muster it up. And you saw right there that transition play after you score to give up something that easy, uncontested at the other end, I think speaks volumes about the Lakers' instinct tonight to put this thing away, and also a little bit about where Houston was emotionally and collectively.
We know that the Lakers statistically just haven't shot it particularly well, but this was a spectacular shooting performance from this group. Maybe this is the ceiling. Maybe this is the best they're going to shoot it. But is this a one-off, or is there something about what they did from a game plan perspective that's repeatable?
Yeah, I think it's going to be, difficult to tell, particularly with the three-point shooting, because they haven't really faced an exceptional defensive team yet. They didn't get it in the first round against Portland. They didn't get it in this round either. This is a team, though, the variable is there for three-point shooting. So the question is going to be, when you actually play against a team that's got length, that's got speed, that's got commitment defensively, that's got a lot of want-to on that end, are teams going to make the Lakers continue to take these shots, and are they going to be able to make them when guys are 2-3 feet closer to them with a hand up? They didn't get a whole lot of that in this series, and guys got extremely comfortable. Now, you ask, is there going to be carryover for some of these shooters? I think guys are in rhythm. They're probably confident. But that's going to go out the window when you play a team that's on a string and that can get there quicker and they're longer and they're faster. That is still the Achilles heel for me for the Lakers. And that's where you have to make them beat you. And I think they're going to get a lot more resistance, obviously, whoever they get in the next round.
Tim, appreciate it. We will talk again shortly, all right?
You got it, Scott.
Story of the series comes down to LeBron and Anthony Davis imposing their will on the Rockets. They both averaged at least 25 points a game and 10 rebounds per game. Their first pair of teammates to do that in a playoff series since 1961. It's only happened 4 other times in NBA history. You're going back to the days, Steve, of Pettit and Shays.
Oh, way back.
A lot of guys, most guys aren't used to that. And so, that could work to a disadvantage to the Clippers if they're not mentally ready to play at 10 a.m., but anything goes in this game. I do think the Clippers are very capable and will, beat the Nuggets. But a 10 a.m. game is a lot different. And also, If they do
1 o'clock for them,
progress,
though, right?
1 o'clock Eastern.
yeah, it's 1 o'clock Eastern. Okay, my bad. Okay, but it's still kind of early. That's like a noon game almost. It's still earlier than you normally play. I think they will progress. You know, a lot of people will be looking at the Western Conference Finals like a finals.
I know.
That's going
Because
to be
they've never
tempting.
seen it before.
Yep.
A lot of people do think that the two best teams, the Lakers and the Clippers, are in the West. So if that comes to fruition, that's going to be huge.
Are you on the 13th hole at 10 a.m.?
You're about right. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
13th. I'd like you to text me if that game's close because I, too, will be watching football. Listen,
see how the
these are
teams
the
do.
two teams
Packers,
since
Vikings.
October. These are the two teams since October, the Lakers and Clippers, that everyone thought
Yeah.
would be playing each other because they're the two best teams. Now, like you said, though, the Nuggets are down 3-2. I can't let myself go there until, because I have too much respect for the Denver Nuggets, until that series is over. But it's hard not to think about it, Karan.
Bro, it's okay. The Western Conference Finals, we should have just went straight to it and had the bubble right here at Staples Center. We knew that the two teams, who it was going to be, the Lakers and the
I
Clippers.
wanted that. I called for that.
Yeah,
I
and
told everyone in
I'm going
June.
to go a little step further. I feel like whoever win the Western Conference Finals will win the championship.
Do you feel like there's added oomph for LeBron and Kawhi to get to the finals because there's no Milwaukee there? You have a very young Boston team, and you have a Toronto team without, or I'm sorry, you have a, help me out here, I'm blanking on another team.
Miami Heat.
Heat, thank you. You have a Heat team that is pretty new. Like they've all kind of gotten there in the last year or two. So now the Lakers are saying, and the Clippers, God, if we can get to the finals, we can get the West Finals and win that. We're going to win the finals because there's no Milwaukee, guys. It's crazy.
Milwaukee.
Who likes that team anyway?
All right, let's head back to the bubble. Frank Vogel speaking with Mike and the media via Zoom.
Hey, Frank, what stands out the most to you, not just from this series, but the whole postseason now, 4-1 over Portland, 4-1 over Houston? What is your takeaway from the way your team is playing?
Well, I'm really proud of our whole team, beginning with our captains, but, really top to bottom on our whole roster's commitment to the defensive end. We played against the hottest player in the bubble in Dame Lillard in the first round. And, this team that is unique and has one of the most high-powered offenses in the history of the league. James and Russ, both MVP-level players, great three-point shooting support system. And, we really committed to the defensive end. And, even though they have a three-point attack, it was a paint-first mindset. Our verticality and rim protection was just special tonight. The commitment was there, and from the beginning of the season, our group has really committed to that end of the floor, and it's paying dividends right now.
Frank, what's most impactful about the LeBron and AD combo on and off the court? As I don't know if there's a difference in postseason and regular season, but is there anything that stands out about the way that those two impact you?
Well, the fact that they're so cohesive on and off the court really impacts our group's togetherness and our chemistry, and it filters down to the rest of the guys. And then obviously both of them have dominant abilities on both sides of the floor. They're both willing passers. So, they fit what we're trying to build here in terms of being a first team offensively and one that's athletic and gifted and talented and committed on the defensive end. So, all those things are leading us to success thus far, and looking forward to seeing how far we can take it.
Hey, Frank, it's David. It's pretty obvious that the level of play you guys have been at these last two rounds is different from what we saw in the seeding round. How can you explain the improvement and the growth you've shown, in these first two rounds of the play compared to when you first got down?
Well, it just takes a little time to gel. We had 4 months off, and obviously the guys had to get their legs back under them, rhythm and timing, all those types of things. And then obviously when we played the first 2 games or 3 games, we clinched the 1 seed. We began getting a lot of guys a lot of work. So there was a little bit of a unfamiliarity, just trying to work guys in and whatnot. But the confidence that I've had in this group has been strong all the way through, and I'm excited about what we can accomplish going forward, not just what we've accomplished thus far.
Hey, Frank. Obviously, the playoffs are such a different animal. I'm wondering what you've learned about this team through these first 2 rounds and the way they've responded to going down 0-1 in each round.
Yeah, well, they've got a great ability to figure things out. You know, that's the number one thing for me. And you know, both within a game, you know, as opposing coaches and teams are putting adjustments in place. You know, our group's ability, our assistant coaches, myself, our player leaderships, every guy from the first guy to the last guy down the end of the bench is talking and you know, just figuring the game out and figuring the series out. And we've had really productive film sessions just to tweak the plan or strengthen the plan each time we play a game in these playoffs. And you know, we continue to get better as the series goes along. Hopefully that will continue.
Hey Frank, it's Tanya.
Hi Tanya.
I was wondering, you know, when the Lakers are back in the conference finals, it's a big deal because it's been 10 years and this is an organization that was accustomed to being there. You want your players thinking about the pressure there is with that, the pressure that comes with trying to get the Lakers back to something that their fans and the organization expects to be doing?
You know, to me, those are end result things. You know, we're super happy for our fans. You know, we're the best fans in the world and the largest fan base in the world in terms of NBA basketball. And Laker Nation, we're all happy for you guys to have the success and put us back in the conference finals with the opportunity to do something great. And but for us, you know, our focus really remains on the task at hand and staying in the moment, and we're not thinking about pressure or what we have to win for who and all those types of things. You know, we really just have a task-oriented, stay in the moment mindset, and you know, it really pays dividends for us.
There's no question that defense has been the key in the first 2 series for the Lakers. It literally changed the series, and they dominated on that end. But offensively, the Lakers have found their rhythm and found their balance. Check out this, the smooth operators. You got 6 players in double figures, including all 5 starters. Markieff Morris with 16, Danny Green with 14, KCP with 10, props to Kuz, 17 off the bench, 3 for 6 from 3. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive, Geeter, and you stated it. The defense is what does it for the offense. It's like caffeine in coffee. You know, it gives you that energy you need. And when you start playing defense as a team, you don't even think about offense. It just comes naturally. You know, when you're down or, you know, you're trying to get in the game or something, and you start thinking offense all the time, that's a hard way to get back into the game. So I think the Lakers, even in March and February, their defense, you know, they said it at the beginning of the year, we want to be a defensive team. AD said, I want to be Defensive Player of the Year. So when they're clicking defensively, their offense just comes so easy for them.
Can I ask you guys a question? Because you guys have been on great defensive teams. When people start to recognize how good you are defensively, I'm sure there's a sense of pride. It gives you even more energy on that side of the basketball. You kind of hang your hat on it. It just seems like the Lakers embrace that defensive style of basketball they play. And then they're having so much fun on offense and they share the ball that it just makes you work harder.
You know, Geeta, when we used to go up against the Pistons and the Celtics, you knew their defense was tough.
Yeah.
And it took that it's not going to be easy. You knew it wasn't going to be easy in your head. So it put like a little extra worry in your head. When you know they're going to be physical, you know they're going to take away some of your strength, you got to be ready for that mentally.
Yeah, you know what? You can control your effort and energy and what you bring to the game night in and night out. You can't control how the ball bounces. You know, so if you can hang your hat on the defensive end of the floor to win the championship, that speaks volumes.
And Brez, I think what's interesting is when the Lakers lose, it's usually the way they lose. They don't hit any threes. They don't get bench production. Yeah. The other starters besides LeBron James and Anthony Davis don't have good games, and it seems so glaring. And we all critique it so hard. But when they look good and everyone plays well, you go, no wonder why they won 53 games or whatever and dominated.
Absolutely. It's funny how they lost games.